Morning, you fabulous sons of bitches. This is Cal's Real Reviews. Now, I want you to bear in mind the things that I review on this channel, I do not sell. I do not sell anything. I just give honest reviews of products, all right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to unbox this Arc Captain Cut 55 LED. It is a plasma cutter. Okay, so we've unboxed the Arc Captain 55 plasma cutter. Okay, and here's what we get. It comes with about this much cord. Not a lot, but you pretty much have to have an extension cord in the shop anyways. Looks like it's about 5 feet long. It comes with this, here's your wand for your plasma cutter. It looks to be about 8 feet long, so plenty of room from the box, right? And it comes with a ground clamp. It came with this plug that goes to a Welder extension cord to 110. That'll be part of our test today to see if it actually welds on 110, or excuse me, cuts on 110. Air hose, air regulator, tip tool with some additional consumables, okay? And this shoulder strap, which is about worthless as tits on a refrigerator. What are you gonna do, carry that around like a purse? You gonna take it to the Walmart? I don't fucking know. Okay, we've got her all set up now. And the instructions, just like all the instructions, even with this PUWU welder here, are not very good. I mean, they're adequate, right? But we got this PUWU here about 2 weeks ago. It's a CT-418 Pro multi-process machine. It actually welds pretty good. Getting it set up was a bit of a chore because A, I don't know shit about wire feeds. I know a lot about welding with an arc welder, but not much about wire feeds. Then this little bad boy here, we got it set up. The setup was a lot easier. One of the problems we had though was that we adapted it so that you could plug it directly into the compressor. Kind of a hillbilly modification there. I don't know if you can see that or not. I used 2 air chucks to get onto the air hose. I didn't want to use much of their air hose because it would be hanging out the back a long ways, and I don't want that. I just want it clean and simple. Got to set it at 57.5 psi to cut. It did not work on 110, so we ended up using it on a 50 amp service, 240 50 amp. The PUWU also does not work on garage power. Now, I don't know if that's because I have a ground fault interrupter in my garage circuit. Maybe that's what's disrupting it. But neither this PUWU welder nor this Cut 55 worked on 110 power. Now, I'm going to clarify this by saying I have never ran a plasma cutter a day in my life. And those were my first few cuts. After 4 or 5 passes, I got it to look like that, which ain't too shabby. Okay? Not too shabby for having only made 6 cuts with one of these in my entire life. Nice straight edge on it. The bottom's got a little bit of slag, and I don't know if that's to do with speed, air pressure, or amperage. And this little bad boy here is your setup guide, and you can see that it says PSI. 99% sure that's supposed to be amps, okay? Not pounds per square inch. Also, this only goes to 1/4, and they claim that this little machine right here, the Cut 55, will raggedly cut 3/4, and on 220 it will cut supposedly 1/2 inch. All in all, aside from some very vague instructions, it works as advertised. I am a novice with a plasma cutter, so, you know, it actually cut steel. Granted, that's probably only 1/8 inch steel, but it works adequately, and I think with more practice, I'll get better with it. It does work, right? But be prepared to put this thing together with very little direction. Because, once again, their instruction book, not very good. Same thing with this bad boy over here. The old PUWU. Their instruction book was just not very good, not very helpful. I forgot to mention at the beginning that they also send you these stickers, in case you like stickers, right? But all in all, I feel like it's worth the $239 I paid for it, and I feel like that's worth the $329 I paid for it. They're not bad machines for a garage. You know, if you're just dinking in your garage, if you're a weekend projects guy, these machines will be more than adequate for anything you probably will do in your garage. Now, if you own a commercial shop, I might rethink it. But then again, I'm a novice with a plasma cutter. So there you have it. There's Cal's real honest review. Now, I don't sell these, so if you want one, you got to go find somebody else that sells them, and there's a lot of people on TikTok who do. Other than that, you guys have a great Sunday.